Hi, AT from CNC at Home. This video is going to be a little bit different. I normally don't do promotional videos on products unless it's something that really relates to the channel. This particular product is a can crusher that was sent to me. Initially, I wasn't going to do it. Their product line is fairly diverse. They have many can crushers that are pneumatic. You hook them up to your shop air, you put a can in, you hit a button, it crushes it. And they're kind of cool. I don't run shop air, so none of those really fit the bill. And so I told them that, and they said, well, we've got some manual can crushers. I looked over some of those, and I picked the one with the big hopper. I don't know if you can see the picture. I'll maybe throw something up here. Again, really not much to do with CNC at Home, and then I thought about it. It's like, well, you know, I do use a fair amount of paint and other spray kind of things. One thing that this can crusher has that's kind of cool, oh, it's heavy. Over here, there's a little thing for puncturing cans. So I can put a can of spray paint in there and just go and puncture it. Spray paint cans are going to be a little big for the crushing part of this, but I thought that was kind of a neat feature. And they did say, oh, we'll go ahead and send one to you. I said, I'll pick a blue because I thought that would show up better on camera. I'm just going to quick put this together and then take this out into the garage and do some can crushing. A bunch of pop cans that I can crush, and I have a few pressurized spray cans that are at end of life, and those need to be deflated and crushed so they can be recycled as well. Might kind of have see if I can talk my daughter into trying this out. She's resisted. She collects cans and turns them in for money, and she uses a sledgehammer to crush the cans flat. This might be an alternative. We'll see. She may or may not like it. She kind of likes using the sledgehammer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera in closer, put it in time lapse, and see how easy this thing is to get assembled. Looks pretty straightforward. This is how my daughter likes to crush cans. She uses the sledgehammer and pounds them flat. It's her thing. She doesn't particularly want a can crusher. Well, let's see how well it works. I first had her load a bunch of empty cans into the hopper to see how easily that worked. They do sometimes fall vertically, which is fine and easy to straighten up. And we can hold close to a dozen cans in here, and it'll hold 16, 12, whatever. She was able to crush it fairly easily using her body weight. She did put all of her body weight into it. Once it's crushed, it comes out the back side. I gave it a try. I was able to crush the cans pretty easily. Try to push it all the way down. Get all your weight on. These are a little bit smaller cans than the first one she did. And it crushed pretty well. Here I tried crushing quickly and that top green can just popped right out. I thought that was pretty funny. I just put it back in and gave it the old squisharoo. It turned out pretty flat. That works pretty well. This is the part of the can crusher that I'm really interested in, is this little spike here. So if I have a pressurized can of something, before you recycle it, you're supposed to pop them essentially. Okay. Did a good job. It poked a nice little hole and released all the pressure. These cans are too big to fit in the crusher. I'll get the microphone down by the thing here. There was something wrong with this can. Apparently there was already a hole in it. There was no pressure in the can. So I went to poke a hole, and it didn't poke a hole. It just crushed. The rest of the cans that had pressure in them poked a hole, no problem. Are you kidding me? No, the one can. I tried another can and it released its pressure no problem. This particular paint can will fit horizontally in here, so I thought I'd give it a try. It is a thicker material, a heavier can, and I put all my weight on it, and it really didn't crush too well. It did crush. I wasn't surprised, however. This time I tried putting a can in vertically, so I only crushed part of it at a time. Once I got the base crushed, the rest of it crushed pretty easily. So that's a better way to crush those more difficult cans or longer cans. Just put them in vertically. So I guess I have to come lie down on the floor so that this big can crusher and I can both be in frame at the same time. Wasn't too bad. The hopper loaded better than I anticipated it would. I thought more cans would twist as they went in. They did, but there's plenty of room to just tap them and get them squared up. Not bad. And it does get the taller cans, so you get those 16 ounces. It fits in here no problem. So that part worked really well. So as we saw, I was able to take those larger cans that wouldn't fit horizontally and just drop them down vertically and just kind of gnaw on them. The one can that did just fit this way took all of my weight to get it to crush. So they're heavier, they're not aluminum, but you can run things through here vertically. You can also run plastic bottles through here if you want to do that. So anyway, that's kind of cool. So at least I can munch on some of those bigger cans with this thing once I've popped the air pressure out of them. Both my daughter and I were able to step on this and crush the cans with just our regular body weight. And I think the construction is pretty solid for what it is. This part that crushes the can is nice and stout. This is some heavy gauge material, some metal. Was not impressed with some of the hardware in assembling this. The Allen head bolts that went in, not the highest quality. They're good enough for this application. The tools that were provided worked well for this assembly, and that's about the end of their life. So, which is fine. The one drawback to the assembly was this nice blue powder coat on here, which is very nice. The problem was several of the holes on some of these bars in assembling the cage. The powder coat was in the threaded hole, and that made getting these bolts engaging with the threads difficult. One of these short little pieces, I can't remember which side it was, I was unable to get the bolt to actually engage in the threads. I ended up running the bolt from the opposite side all the way through, essentially using it like a tap to clean out the threads. Then it went on nicely and easily. So the assembly wasn't too hard. The one drawback, like I said, was the powder coat getting into those threads. The machine is stout. If you like crushing cans this way, this is a good machine. You can load it up, and it held, I don't know, there's probably a dozen cans in here. So it has a pretty good size hopper. You can load a bunch of cans, and then when you're just ready, you just crunch, 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 and then sweep them away. So it's a thumbs up. Not sure if we'll use it here too much at the house, but my daughter really likes using that sledgehammer. Go figure. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I will put a link to this product down in the description if you're interested in getting one for yourself. You can also check out some of the other products from this company. They have a few really industrial pneumatic can crushers. So you hook it up to your shop area, you put the can in, you hit a button, and it crushes the can for you. I was able to use the spike for depressurizing some cans. That worked well. All but on one can. For some reason, it didn't want to puncture that can. That can may have been empty already. It had really no pressure in it to hold the can out when I put the pedal down. That's something that I kind of like on this. Although, again, just using a screwdriver would be just as easy, just poking a hole in the side. My preference for crushing cans is I just step on them. It's faster. You don't have to have a big chunk of material, metal machine to do that work. For some people, that takes the fun out of it. You make the call. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects.
Oops.